All right, y'all. So in outbound, you will be responsible for booking meetings, right? You're also going to be responsible for running campaigns, running plays to find leads to book meetings with. So Zoom Info has a really nice page here where they actually break down each type of sales play there is. And I'm going to use these as a point of inspiration for you to go bring into your business and think about, how do I set up the equivalent of this play for my business? Okay. So we're going to go through these one by one and I'll kind of tell you what's relevant, what's not. So, for example, address low feature usage. That's more for like CSMs that need to expand their business. So that's not us. Swap or add, don't need that. Contact lookalike prospects. Okay, this one is important. When a new company signs on as a customer, it's smart to find a lookalike prospect that might also benefit from your product. Every time you close a deal, your team should immediately identify prospects that face the same challenges as a new customer. Once that list is compiled, we can begin a new email sequence and even promote that a competitor of theirs just signed on as a client. So whenever a new deal is closed, you can run this play. Research similar companies to the one that closed the new deal, email those companies to introduce your offering, and talk about the problem that their competitor was facing that you came in and were able to help out with. So a very easy way to do this from the SDR seat is to go into your case studies on your company's website and work from those, where you're going to be able to look at like, hey, this customer signed on because they had this issue and we were able to get them this result. Then you can take that and turn it into an outbound message where, hey, so-and-so prospect, when I'm talking to other marketing leaders, we're finding that they're struggling with this, but we were actually able to help insert referenceable customer achieve X result. Are you guys working on anything similar over there? Or is this a priority to you? So what those customer stories on the website will allow you to do is you'll actually be able to reference them, because if they're on the website, that means that your company's gone through the approval of being able to name drop those customers. The other way to do this is whenever you see a deal closed in Salesforce and HubSpot, whatever, you're able to then go into those deal notes and read them and say, okay, why did someone come to us and buy our product? Where this is really helpful is inbound leads. If you ever get anyone coming inbound, if you have an inbound team, if you have inbound leads, study them, listen to the calls, the discovery calls, the qualification calls, and hear your prospects telling your teammate why they raised their hand and said, I need help, I need a solution, and then just regurgitate that messaging into your own messaging to go outbound with. And in this way, you're going to be using the same language your prospects are using, who are coming to you saying, I want to buy your technology to solve this problem. You can literally use the same language they're using. Then you're not going to be trying to guess what outbound messaging you should be using. You're just going to have the outbound messaging right there, good to go. Let's see, another play in here, upsell customers, multi-threading campaigns by persona. Yep. Sorry, that's more like in-depth sales cycle. So let's keep going. Direct mail. Yeah, if you can do direct mail, your company lets you do that. You can mess around with that. Basically, if you've got, $10 to offer coffee on you, or if you can send a mug, stuff like that. It's unlikely that your company will do that, but it's one to keep in mind. And again, the point of this video, y'all, is just to get you thinking like, oh yeah, I don't think we do that. Oh yeah, let me set up a workflow around that, just so you can make sure you're running each play the way you should be. Whatever's possible, you should be doing it. On-demand seminars. This is cool. So depending on the company you're at, you might have an account executive who's willing to like host a webinar on the topic that your prospects are struggling with. And then they're able to do like a light demo. And maybe you're able to invite people to that demo, and that's a better reason to reach out than just cold outreach, right? So instead of, hey, chief marketer officer, I'm a cold email and I'm trying to book a meeting with you. It's, hey, chief marketing officer, saw you guys are going through this in your business. We have a webinar next week about this topic. Thought you'd care to attend, or something like that. And that way you can be booking meetings for your account executive at those demos or those webinars and be able to hop on and kind of work them from there. Let's see, demo CRM calendar sync, send a pre-demo start prospecting for unicorns. And I will drop the link to this entire resource in this video here. Out of office reply follow-up. So out of office, this is actually really smart. When someone says they are back in office, they're out of office will say when they're back in office. If they're an important lead to you and you feel like you can book a meeting with them and you want to talk to them, respond with a welcome back message, right? I wouldn't schedule it the day they get back. It says even right here, I would do 2 days when they're back and then call them when they're back after 2 days and be the first to welcome them because no other rep is probably doing that. So whenever you get an automated out of office email, just take note of when they're going to be back, set a reminder in your CRM, whatever you have, to reach back out, get back in touch with this person, and welcome them back from their vacation, their out of office or wherever they were, and just build that human-to-human rapport. All right, what else do we have here? Went too fast. There we go. Build your meeting stack. I don't know what this is going to say, but it gives me another thought. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what this is saying is, hey, when you book a meeting with someone, see if you can get someone else to attend. So, hey, Mr. Chief Marketing Officer, thanks for taking time to talk on Tuesday. Does it make sense to invite senior demand gen manager? Because I know she's been involved in some of the projects you've had. And if you can get 2 people to commit to that meeting's not going to just randomly get no-showed, right? So that's kind of what this one is saying here. Capitalize on competitor churn. Let's see what they got here. Competitor's customer can be a great source of new business if you can get plugged into the right signals. Companies that churn are already educated on your value and they understand the potential, so you could work to find them a better solution, aka your solution. So some of the data platforms you're going to use, like ZoomInfo, this is their website, will actually allow you to see when people drop technology from their tech stack. So that would be something you'd want to watch. Cold booking. That's for inbound leads. Basically, it's saying if you get an inbound lead that ghosts you, send them an invite, like a real calendar invite, and see if they accept it. You don't want to do that for cold outbound, though. Target your customer's competition. We kind of talked about that, right? So I'm not going to go deep on that. Capitalizing competitor churn. Another big one you can set up is intent data. So again, this is within a platform where you can say through intent filters, you can look up if people are searching keywords related to your solution. So if I sold like a scheduling platform, I could look up employee scheduling, and the intent filter will ping whenever an account is looking up employee scheduling, and then I know to reach out to that account. Cold call, fast follow-on, sent email. We're desensitized to dozens of emails. This is bad news. In order to stand out, immediately follow up your email with a cold call. So why this is good is because you're surround sounding the prospect and you're letting them know your presence, because they're just going to get emails all day and they're probably going to get cold calls all day, but it's all disjointed. So if you can be someone putting surround sound on them, hey, I'm trying to get in touch with you, I want to talk, that's great. The other added benefit here is when you call, you can say, it's a little warmer, hey, I just shot you an email, I'm not sure if you got a chance to see it or not. And now it's just a warmer intro than a true ice cold out of the blue cold call. This is huge. Going back on lost opportunities. So you should have the ability in your CRM to pull a report of every closed lost opportunity the business has ever had. Now, you might be responsible for only your AE's accounts, only their territory, whatever, but this is how you're going to book a lot of meetings. You're going to go revisit these people every 3-4 months, and you're going to reach back out and say, hey, I know we connected, 7 months ago. You talked to my partner so and so. The deal didn't work out because, and you can go look at the close loss notes in the opportunity to figure out why didn't the deal close. And then you can shape a new talk track around that. Hey, the deal didn't close because it seems like we weren't able to meet y'all with price. We've actually been able to make some updates to our pricing. Do you think it makes sense to get back in touch? Kind of thing, right? Also, when people sign up for a new software provider, you want to wait like 3 months, then check in, because onboarding sometimes is trash for these companies and they get so mad. Like, man, I just bought this software. It's a nightmare. We haven't been able to set it up right. We should have gone with you guys. So after 3 months of losing a deal to someone else, go and check on that deal and see if there's any headaches with the new tech. Hey, wanted to reach out. I know we didn't make it work here. You guys ended up going with so and so, but checking in just to see is it everything they promised it would be, right? Boom, and you might get some feedback there and some bites. Let's see. Yeah, no shows. You should always have a running list of all your no shows in your CRM and make sure you're hitting those people every few days until you're really going to call them dead. So whenever you get a no show, follow up, follow up, follow up, and then call it dead if you know you're just not going to get back in touch with them. But even those no shows, just like the closed lost opportunities, the closed deals that we didn't get, go back to them every 3 months, every 6 months, and say, hey, we connected like 6 months ago. You were super busy. We weren't able to actually link up. Wanted to see if this was still relevant for you. And there's going to be some low hanging fruit there for you as well. All right. Let's see. G2 reviews. This is a good one. When a positive review about your product is published on G2, leverage it in emails. You can also use it to, okay, that's for a deal on the rocks. So yeah, this is just something to add in to your potential messaging where you could say, hey, I noticed that you guys are probably focused on XYZ. We just actually had someone from XYZ company say this about us. Could do it. Just another option. Like I said, this is all meant to just get you thinking about, hey, what else could I be doing? Follow news, absolutely. So these two are actually huge right here. So one is called, let's do the news follow. So whatever industry you're in, there's probably key triggers and events that happen that make it a good time for you to reach out, right? So what you can actually do is go to Google News and you can actually set up a subscription. Is it settings or alerts? Google News alerts. Google Alerts. There we go. So what you can do, create an alert about, let's say, SDR hiring, right? So now I could create an alert. Daily, I want any mentions on Google of SDR hiring to show up in my inbox. Let's say you sell, or let's say one of your big customers is Pepsi, right? So as it happens, once a day, once a week, I want any news article that mentions Pepsi to show up in my inbox. This is an easy way to stay on top of any news that's happening in the industry. And then you can actually use that news in your outreach at the right relevant time. It's awesome. The main point of contact leaves company, or the champion goes from company to company. This is called Champion Chaser. There are legitimate tools that do this for you. One good one is Champify. And if your company isn't using a Champion Chaser tool, then you should absolutely ask about it at least. And if they won't let you buy the tool, you can use LinkedIn for this. The point is that you are able to track when a customer of your solution joins a new company. How easy is it to reach out to that customer, congratulate them? Maybe you send them a little little lunch card, whatever. Congrats on the new role. And then you're also going to bring up, hey, I know you started this new role. Do you guys need the same solution over at this new company? The way you actually track this is going to be either through a tool like Champify, or you're going to use SalesNav. Now, I don't have access to SalesNav right now, but basically in SalesNav, and you guys can just reach out if you want help setting this up. You can set up, you can import a list of your customers, and then you can show like last company was one of your customers. And then you can set up an alert. So whenever someone's last company is now one of your customers, that means they just changed jobs. And now you can reach out to them and set that play up. So that's another good one. Let's keep going. Yeah, if you have a free trial motion at your company, one of two things. There's probably a dedicated team that's in charge of those trials. Or if not, I've been at two companies where no one was in charge of it. Low hanging fruit. Okay, if you have a free trial motion, no one's touching them, no one's following up with them, reach out to those people. Hey, saw you spun up a trial. Curious, like what got you to sign up? Like, what are you looking to accomplish? Blah, 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 blah. And if there is a team, then toe the line, but you might need to check that they're actually following up with those leads. Because again, two companies I've been at, we had people that were following up with free trials. No, they weren't. And there was so much just free money on the ground we were leaving. And once we found that, it was like meeting city. Let's see. Website return. So Zoom Info and some of these other data tools will allow you to actually put a pixel on your website that shows you what companies are visiting your website. So Zoom Info's version is called Websights, SIGHTS. Can't spell right now. Every data provider will probably have something different, but that is a good play to run where you're checking what companies are visiting our website. Then you can go do outbound on that company. Funding round, congratulations. Yeah, that's important if anyone's ever raising funds. Okay, cool. So I will paste this resource in the video box below, but this should help you get started and help you think of plays that you need to be running. Now, one other thing I would encourage you to do is build a playbook. So every play that you could run that would work in your business, you should write down. It's going to take you a while to get each one stood up, especially if you're not a manager and you're just like trying to ask people to get help. Point is, you need to document everything you could be doing and then work on each one at a time and get them stood up, because the ideal state is that you have 12 to 15 plays you're running at all times. So each stream, whenever a new customer leaves and starts a new job, whenever there's a funding round, whenever there's a news alert, and you just have all these plays stacked up, ready to go. So this will be an overtime project, but it's going to ensure that you're not leaving any free leads or low-hanging fruit on the ground. Let's get after it. Any questions, just hit the community up. We got you.